everyone. In today's class, we will be talking about osmotic pressure and tonicity. In our previous class, we already discussed about the Thistle funnel experiment, and the basis of that experiment I'll be using to explain this osmotic pressure. Okay, so to understand osmotic pressure, there is a little bit of understanding of this Thistle funnel experiment that you'll be needing. If you have not seen the previous video, I really suggest you to go back and see that first. Okay, let me just first tell you the labelings which I have labeled here. Number one thing, that inside the beaker we have a pure solvent. Okay, water is a solvent. Inside the Thistle funnel, this is the Thistle funnel, we are having a solution. Clear? What type of solution is this? It is a sugar solution, which will be having some solute as well as some solvent in it. Now, we know that the mouth of Thistle funnel will be covered with a semi-permeable membrane, or as in this case we are using cellophane membrane. One thing. Last thing that we need to understand here is that in an ideal setup, when no osmotic pressure is being applied, the initial level was this much of the solution, sugar solution. When osmosis has taken place, some of the solution will move up. This is what we have studied in our previous class. But osmotic pressure says that if we are going to apply some pressure here, suppose there is a piston here, let me just write it. There is a piston, and by using piston we are applying certain pressure here. So because of that pressure, what all changes are going to occur, this is what osmotic pressure is. Let's see the definition to understand this better. Osmotic pressure is the minimum pressure. Which pressure we are talking about? The pressure that we are applying using a piston. Where? In the Thistle funnel. Clear? That must be exerted to prevent the passage of pure solvent. Why this pressure is being applied? So that my pure solvent can no longer move into this Thistle funnel. Clear? Into the solution. That means the beaker which is having a pure solvent, the solvent will now not enter into the Thistle funnel which is already having the solution in it. That's one thing. When the two are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, when the two, the funnel and the beaker, are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, so that is osmotic pressure for you. I have written the easiest of the definition. Next thing which I have written here is upon which factor this osmotic pressure depends. So the osmotic pressure depends on the concentration of solute. Solute कहाँ पे present होंगे? Of course, they are not going to be present in the pure solvent. They will be present in the solution, the sugar solution. So, osmotic pressure is dependent on the concentration of solute which is present in the solution. This you have to remember. It is the pressure difference. Osmotic pressure is nothing but the pressure difference outside and inside which is needed to stop what? To stop what? The movement or the flow of solvent inside of the where? Inside of the Thistle funnel. That is your osmotic pressure. Students, when we discussed about osmosis, we discussed about two terms. One was endoosmosis and the other one was exoosmosis. In endoosmosis, if this is a beaker and it is having certain solution and this is the cell. In endoosmosis, what was happening? There was movement of solvent inside of the cell. One thing. In exoosmosis, same situation, some solution is there. Of course, if I am talking about solution, then it is going to be made up of both solute and solvent. Concentrations are going to be different in this case and in this case, but solution has both the things. If I talk about exoosmosis, again there is a cell, but now the movement of solvent is going to be reversed. It is going to be in the outward direction, that is from the cell to the outside solution. So with this basis, we will be now moving towards tonicity, which is nothing but it determines the direction of movement of solvent, that whether it is going to be moving from outside to inside or from inside to outside. So let's just see. It is the relative concentration. Concentration की बात हम करेंगे of solution. Solution की concentration कैसी है? What type of solute and what type of solvent is going to be present in the solution, that we will be focusing on. Why? Because that determines the direction and extent of movement. Okay, they are going to now determine that whether my solvent is going to be moving from outward to inward or it is going to move from inward to outward. Let's just take a situation here wherein in the first case, let's say the solute is less and solvent is more. So what is going to happen if this is the case and in the cell, let's say the solute is more and the solvent is less? We know by the definition of osmosis that there is going to be movement of solvent from where to where? From its region of higher concentration to its region of lower concentration. Those of you who have not yet seen the previous video of osmosis and wherein everything has been explained in detail, please go and watch it. Okay, so solvent movement is going to be there from higher to lower region. Higher is where it is in the beaker, lower is where it is in the cell. So solvent is going to now move from this to this direction. Clear? And it is opposite for exoosmosis. This all is determined, the direction is only determined when I know the concentration of solution. How much solute is there, how much solvent is there, only then the extent and the direction of movement of solvent is going to be determined. Clear? Next point which I have written here is, it is defined as the ability. Another easy definition, it is defined as the ability of a solution to cause a cell to gain or lose water. Of course, if my cell is gaining water, then it is going to be a case of endoosmosis, and if it is going to lose water or solvent, if I talk about, it is going to be exoosmosis. It depends on the concentration of solute and solvent on both sides of the membrane. Clear that what and in how much amount the solute and solvent is present, it is going to be dependent on that thing. Now, based on the concentration of solute and solvent which are present inside and outside of a cell, this tonicity is divided into three parts. Let's now see what these parts are. Now, based on the concentration of solute and solvent, the solution can be divided into three parts. Okay, so we will now be focusing on the types of tonicity based on the concentration of solution, that how much solute and how much solvent is present. Number one type is going to be isotonic. It is very easy to remember. Iso means same, okay, and tonus means tension, or you can also say concentration. Next is, I'll just tell you what this is. Next is going to be hypotonic. Hypo means lower. Again, tonic is concentration or tension. Third one is going to be hypertonic. Hyper means higher in concentration or in tension. Now, what we are talking about, of what concentration, क्या बात कर रहे हैं हम? Let's see. Suppose if I talk about this thing first, isotonic. Iso means same. What same? The same thing that we are talking about is solvent. Always remember, whenever we are talking about osmosis or things related with osmosis, we will just be talking about solvent. Clear? So, if I have a cell, yes, and if I place it in a beaker with a solution, let's say the solution has some solute and some solvent. Okay, similarly, my cell is also going to be having some solute and some solvent. In isotonic situation, what happens is there is going to be equal concentration of solute and solvent both inside and outside of the cell. That means the amount of solute and solvent which is present inside the cell is just equal as it is present outside the cell. Okay, now the next thing which I ask you is, if this is the case that both the sides are having equal concentration, what do you think is going to be happening? Is there going to be any movement of solvent? Let's see. Solvent here is suppose 1 and here also solvent is 1. By the definition of osmosis, we know that the movement of solvent is going to be from its higher region to its lower region. क्या यहाँ पे कोई high or low region है? Is there any higher and lower region here? No. So there will be no movement in this case in isotonic solution. Clear? Now let's move forward toward the next part, which is hypotonic. In hypotonic, I explained you that hypo means lower. Again, I'm going to take a beaker here, and in that beaker, I'm going to add a cell. Now, to understand it better, I'm going to tell you a trick here. Hypo is lower. What lower? Again, ma'am, when we are talking about osmosis, we will be talking about solvent. To understand this concept better, always take the cell into consideration. हाइपो की बात कर रहे हैं हम. Okay, so lower is going to be the case here. Now again, in the solution, some solute is there, some solvent is there, and same is the case inside the cell. Some solute and some solvent is here. Now again, I'll be coming here. Hypotonic means lower concentration. Lower concentration of what? Solvent. So solvent की lower concentration की अगर मैं बात कर रही हूँ तो क्या मैं इसको इस तरह लिख सकती हूँ that inside of my cell the solvent is less? Yes. If inside of the cell it is less, then I can write it reverse like this, that outside it has to be more, and reverse with the solute. This we already know. We have already discussed this much. Now, in a hypotonic situation, again movement is going to be there from higher to lower region of solvent. So, higher region is outside of the cell and lower region is inside of the cell. So, movement is going to be from outside to inside. That means the cell is now going to increase in volume, and when this happens, what is the case? Endoosmosis or exoosmosis? Yes, when the solvent is moving inside, that means the volume is going to be increasing, and we will call it as endoosmosis. There is inward movement of solvent. That is the second case. Now let's move towards the third one, that is a hypertonic situation. In a hypertonic situation, again, hyper means more. What more? Solvent. Where it is more? Inside of the cell. These three things you have to ask yourself. Okay. Now again, a cell is being placed here. Some solution is here. And the solution is having some solute and some solvent. Similarly, cell is also having some solute and some solvent. Clear? Now, if I talk about the outside situation and inside situation, this thing is going to help me here. Let's see how. Hyper, more. What more? Solvent. Where? In the cell. तो solvent अब कहाँ ज़्यादा है? Cell के अंदर. If it is more in the cell, that means it is less outside the cell. If this is the situation, reverse is going to be with solute. Easy. I'm sorry. Reverse is going to be with solute. Clear? Now, again with the definition of osmosis, higher to lower. Higher is where? It is inside of the cell. Lower is where? Outside of the cell. So, the movement of solvent is going to be in the other direction now, from inside to outside, and such situation is going to result into shrinkage of my cell, which is nothing but exoosmosis. That means solvent is moving in the outward direction. These three terms are important. Okay, iso means same, hypo means lower, and hyper means more. What more? Solvent. Where? In the cell. These 2-3 things you have to remember, and then this whole topic is going to be easy for you. Also, there are topic wise worksheets available. Kindly leave a comment in the comment section if you wish to avail the same. So don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Also hit the bell icon so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you.